So, Paul,
Oh.
thank you very much, and we'll over to you and the CDRC Master's dissertation. Thanks very much, Paul.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Tim. Let's just see. Yes, I hope the screen's up now. As some of you may know, Doug has been associated with the Consumer Data Research Centre for a number of years, and throughout those years, we've actually collaborated in running something called a nationwide master's dissertation programme, which was originally established by Keith Dugmore and myself, and has been taken over by the Consumer Data Research Centre, an ESRC, an Economic and Social Research Council initiative since 2014. So these are basically the motivation for the CDRC is to break down barriers between academia and the business community. And you can see on this slide, excuse me, a selection of the organisations that we've interacted with over the last 6 or so years, and on the master's dissertation scheme for a year or so before that. And its motivation is basically to repurpose consumer data, those are data collected by customer-facing organisations, into analysis-ready data products for the wider good. And we do that through a variety of channels. There's a website called data.cdrc.ac.uk. From which you can download many of our analysis-ready data products. For more secure and potentially sensitive data sources, we have a secure data facility. We run a very popular mapping website coordinated by our senior data scientist, Oliver O'Brien, which has recently been relaunched as mapmaker.cdrc.ac.uk, and our data services manager, Nick Bierman, coordinates our training and outreach activities, many of which themselves use CDRC data. So the master's dissertation scheme, to really come to this afternoon's activities, basically enlists the collaboration of business partners who co-sponsor, in effect, a student dissertation, typically for a period of 2 or 3 months, which gives the student the opportunity to work with the sorts of data that analysts actually use in their subsequent careers, and which offer the businesses the opportunity, in effect, to test drive a student and see how they shape up to many of the data team building activities that we've just heard about in the previous presentation. And indeed, a mark of success of many of the students over the 9 or so years for which this project has run has been that many have actually found themselves working with the organisation with which they originally carried out their dissertations. And indeed, in the last cohort, one of the students, who may even be on this call, has found employment with Landmark Trust. And so what we do is we run an annual cycle, really commencing December, where students sign up to projects. The dissertations are produced, and around this time of year, we have a mini award ceremony, which is essentially this this session in which we honour the achievements of 3 students in terms of the quality of their work, and a 4th, about which more in a moment, which is based normally on poster presentations at the annual DUG conference, but this year will be based upon an interactive voting session, which will be constrained to 10 minutes or so after 4 selected students have presented summaries of their works. And it doesn't end there. I mean, our other announcement really this year is that my colleague Mel Chesnikov is coordinating a nascent alumni network in which we hope to continue to value the achievement of past master's students' dissertations. The previous presentation gave an idea of the importance of people in organisations. We are slowly wising up to the reality that it's not necessarily the organisations you need to follow to look for the sustenance of the dissertation scheme from year to year, but look at the people who move between organisations, taking their ideas with them. And one of the very important and crucial ideas that we want them to take with them is that this kind of collaboration between the academic sector and the business community generates value for both sides, not least the participants in it. Going back to the master's dissertation scheme, really the talks that you've just heard are what we call the bottom level of our ladder of engagement with business and service providers. And that ladder of engagement with private sector company goes right through to the upper levels of the ladder. For example, with local data company where we co-produce data. And this is really a sort of short advertorial to encourage as many DUG organisations and people tuned into this conference to use the master's dissertation scheme, which will relaunch in the next month or so for the coming year, as a low risk opportunity to both test drive a prospective future employee to undertake the kind of horizon scanning research that you might not have the time or resources to engage in yourself, and perhaps above all to give young people the chance to join successful organisations and become parts of the sorts of dynamic teams that we heard about earlier, and to make a contribution that matters. The scheme, as you've heard contributions from maths, from geography, and so on and so forth. It's a nationwide multidisciplinary programme. CDRC sites in Oxford, Liverpool, Leeds and UCL all participate, but so do lots of other places as well, as we heard, for example, from Imperial earlier. And these offer many opportunities to participate in the programme. So I'm conscious of time. What we should now really move to, I think, is the prizes, with the proviso that I hope that the DUG conference this year has attracted many of our alumni from previous iterations of the scheme, that they will continue to participate in the scheme as individuals in their new or established organisations, and that they'll join the alumnus, participate in the alumnus network that we've created. So, without further ado, in terms of the dissertation scheme, the runners-up under the conventional judging are first of all Sam, who we heard from about weather and shipping, and Pui Cello, who we also heard about the activity patterns monitoring using GPS data. So those are the runners-up through the conventional voting this year. The winner of the competition this year is Lucy, who we heard from about combining footfall in order to understand consumer behaviour patterns. Not quite a clean sweep for movement strategies, but nonetheless they're represented in two of the conventional prizes this year. My delightful poppy-clad assistant has come in with the vote, and it's I can't say your name, I'm sorry. Nombruli Cello is the winner of the voting thing. And Sam and Lucy also received commendations in the voting. So
I'm not sure how you clap in this particular scenario, but well done, everybody.
Yeah, right. If anyone has any problems, the name's Trump. Okay, and you know, you may get some sympathy there. That's really all from me. Other than just to say, do look at our websites, and thank you very much for your attention.